Casting in a storm.
Love it.
Welcome to the internet.
Welcome, friends, to the Floating Lightning Storm Live. My name is Jonathan. Welcome, friends. We're joined today by Ryan Ducham. He's a fire spinner. He was here for Art on the Town. I know that was really crazy. I'm just, woo! What can I say? I'm excited. This is a good day. It's a really good day. It's raining, I know. It's thunderstorming out, but that's okay. Anybody that's here with us right now, thank you so much, so very much for joining the stream. We really appreciate
Found
it.
him.
Again, just in case anyone hasn't caught it, because we have a slight delay, we're joined today by Ryan Ducham of the Fox Valley Fire Arts and the founder of Spinsconsin. He was here for the Art on the Town, the last one that we had, and it was where we were broadcasting and we were doing the fire spinning, or I should say Ryan's crew was doing the fire spinning.
You did fire spinning.
But I actually did do the fire spinning. Oh man, I felt so great being able to do that. I have a true history with fire spinning, and I did not burn myself completely. Not yet, anyway. Anyhow, this is an interactive show, so hit that love button, the heart button down below. We see all your comments live. Talk to us. The set will see them. Everyone will see them. Thank you for whoever just liked the page. We're excited to have you all here. That was a really long intro. Okay, but I'm ready to go. Welcome back, friends.
You're starting to sound dangerously close to happy, and we can't have that.
Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. I have energy today. Guess what? I did not drink one energy drink until 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Everyone's clapping for me. I'm so happy.
Do you have a problem? I didn't know.
Yes, he has a big problem.
Oh my gosh, this is turning into an intervention.
He has 6 rock stars a day.
How am I supposed to run the float center?
How'd you do it today?
I sacrificed myself for all of our guests. Anyhow, I'm super excited to have Ryan on the show. This show was booked out for a long time, and I really had a great time hanging out with Ryan and his crew. And Art on the Town. It was just fun. It was just a great time. Had a chance to speak to Ryan for some time, and he's definitely a pioneer in the industry of the fire arts. Not only is he a performer, but he's also an instructor. And just by viewing his YouTube channel, which I need you all to go to, you got to check this guy out. He's amazing. But he's so humble in the way he describes his process, his routines, and he puts a huge emphasis on safety and technique. And I think that there's anybody out there that is curious about poi, fire spinning, this is going to be an episode that you're going to want to listen to and ignore the super loud hail-like rain. Anyhow, let's cut to Couch Cam.
Oh, that's going to be me, isn't it?
That's us.
Oh, it's us, isn't it?
So when you get really deep into conversation, Ryan, it's going to go to that camera. And
you.
And then that one down there is when you're both talking.
Yeah.
So,
Ready?
Welcome back from your floats, friends.
Hi.
How is it going?
It's good.
I love Danny.
What is she saying?
That's why you look stressed all the time. No more chemical power drinks.
I don't look stressed. And besides that, Ron is sending me energy all the time.
Oh.
Dude, you have to come Saturday. Oh my god.
Yeah. Unique things that happen.
Oh, I'm so
here.
excited.
Anyhow,
so excited.
for anybody who's just joining the show that's never seen the show before, this is how the Floating Light Live works. Our guests come to Float Light. They experience a float, and then we get to completely interrupt their post-float glow or disseminate,
Dissect, postulate,
articulate, disseminate, and
postulate.
postulate the post-float glow. I was supposed to say that in the beginning. My
postulate.
name is Jonathan
Look,
Rowe.
good thing our intro says that.
It does.
It does.
But so you guys are joined on the couch. You just had a chance to float. What a crazy time to float, I must say. But how was your float today? This is your how many floats?
This was my second float. I have had a very like on and off relationship with meditation in general, but I definitely engage in like moving meditation and just trying to like rely on muscle memory to dance with stuff in my hands. So just not a lot of stationary meditation anymore. And I'm definitely trying to build that back into my like daily routine. So every time I come here, it's like a good inspiration. The last time and this time, it's like, okay, you have time. You just spent an hour, you drove 30 minutes twice, right? And then you're on a show, like you have 5 minutes a day. Just do it. Like I always preach about injury prevention with your body. So I feel like meditation is kind of like injury prevention for the mind in a way, or it can be.
Even physically too.
It's almost like it's like deep mindfulness, but also while practicing mindfulness while performing any kind of activity is actually, I would say, almost best practice for most folks, but they don't realize what they're engaging in.
Right, it's
like when you get in the zone, you're just doing it.
There's a word for that. It's something mindfulness, like not mundane mindfulness, but it's the idea of just engaging in that sort of thought process throughout your day, kind of even just as you're like writing and driving and things like that. If the word comes to me, you guys will be the first to know. But
sure. Well, if anyone out there knows the word, let us know in the comments below. I will say agree with your philosophy, in that, well, I also have been, and Megan and Daniel and Josh, we all have been very, on this journey of meditation and mindfulness. And I think floating for us is just one way of achieving that, but it's not necessarily the thing it's not the end all. There's many methods and means. And I think it was interesting for you to mention that your fire arts and, the dance, however you describe it, that is a form of meditation for you in a way.
Well, it definitely can be. I mean, a lot of people, I think, overprescribe flow to flow arts in regards to like flow arts to flow psychology, as like optimal functioning and like losing sense of time and existence like as a total envelopment in a task. I don't think most people actually experience that when they're spinning, when they're like juggling and things like that. Just because like that is sort of framed on a difficulty versus enjoyment scale, and a lot of people aren't doing all that difficult of stuff. Like at the end of the day, even if it's something you had to put 20 or 30 hours in to learn, like once you've learned it, it's not difficult to do. It's just all sorts of little things like that. But anyway, the idea of I do think that there is moving meditation in the same way that stepping or walking meditation is a thing, in terms of instead of returning your attention to your breath, you're returning your attention to your steps. So for me, with spinning, especially with spinning poi, I'm returning my attention to downbeats. So every time that a poi passes the ground, like that's like a breath or a step.
Okay. But you said downbeat. Is that almost like it's almost like you're gaining this kind of intuition with music, or you're kind of
even if there was no music, a downbeat just means like the rotation starts like there's a rotation.
This is a terminology.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
I mean, minimally, right? But basically, anytime that the poi passes the ground,
sure,
as it's spinning.
So it's almost like when I think of meditation and something that you're truly skillful at, it's almost like it becomes part of the autonomic system of the human condition, and we just start to be able to do it optimally, especially when it's something that you truly believe that you're doing because you're passionate about it. I think that becomes even more natural for human beings. And that's what I found quite fascinating about just having Ryan here, because when I had a chance to speak to him in the Float Lounge, and this was before he actually came out to perform here at Floatlight and here for the city of downtown Appleton for the Art on the Town, he was just kind of describing his notion of the float experience, and I just knew that he had to come on the show. I thought that there was going to be some pretty dynamic conversation, and so far so good. So yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it very much. And Megan, you had a chance to float.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good. The storm kind of like energetically messes me a little bit, I feel.
I think it does for a lot of people.
I don't know.
There is some peace, though, in my opinion, to thunder and lightning and storms. Because for me, it drives a lot of the chaos of people, which I don't mind people, but too many people and like overloading energy, I feel like it just kind of drives them in their own place, and it gives me a wide open kind of
it makes sense.
That's just me. I might be crazy though, folks. Like, seriously, tell me if I'm crazy. I'll be okay with that. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off a little bit. Even energetically, I've been like really, really, really good. Been as always looking through stuff, but yeah, I've been doing pretty good energetically. I haven't really had a lot of things that I really need to work through. Always there is things that come up in certain moments, but nothing really came through in the flow tank.
Ron says meditate during the storm.
I know. I'm trying to
enjoy the energy. I totally do. I like it.
I
totally agree with you, Tammy and Ron. Like, you guys are both right. I truly can meditate at a higher degree, like a superior degree during storm.
I'm like the type of person who needs, like, even when I sleep, like, I need silence and no light.
Really?
Absolutely.
I need no light, but I do like the sound of a fan. I don't know what it is.
I hate the sound of a fan. Like, my fan starts, like,
oscillating.
Yeah, my fan starts, like, getting all wonky.
What about you, Ryan? I'm curious about this. What do you think about storms? I know it's a random conversation, but, like,
we're in the right place for that. I don't know.
Ryan has no comment, folks.
Yeah, as far as meditating during a storm, I don't know. I think, like, meditation is a skill in a way, or so to some extent it's a skill.
Yeah.
Like, you don't necessarily want to actively think about getting better at it, because if you're doing it, you're doing it. It's like black and white in that sense.
Sure.
So when we're saying that we have difficulty meditating during a storm, that's probably more accurate. Like, we find our attention wanders more.
Sure.
So it's just interesting how if your attention's wandering more, I guess, like, I'm just of the opinion that that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, like, or that it's harder. It's just going differently.
And I feel like the last few times that I floated, like, I've just been, like, really tired. As for today, like, I wasn't tired. So, like, I was going in and, like, and I'm probably going to start setting up my meditation track, because, like, when I've been sleeping at night, like, I have issues falling asleep because my mind just wanders. But, makes sense.
You know what's really weird? No, go ahead. You guys should talk.
But,
I was told by some good friends that are also in the production and all that kind of, they were like, dude, let your guest talk. So I got to be more quiet. I'm taking criticism, friends. Seriously, I already told all y'all, if there's anything that we can do, that's better.
Yeah, we'll release a say at the end of the episode.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that we've been taking. This is. Oh, by the way, this is our 40th Floating Light Live.
Woo.
Number 40. Just as a side note, thank you all for joining us along this journey.
Again,
we love doing this all for you guys. It's just fun. We do it for fun. Anyhow.
But yeah, anyway, so I so I was just kind of like, I guess I'm used to the chaos. This is what I think it is. I think I'm so used to the chaos that when the silence was there, I was like, well, like, what do I do with this now? Because, like, I had, called my guardians and, like, nothing was coming through, which is totally fine, like, my body always takes me where it needs to go, and I full-heartedly believe that. And so I was just existing, and I guess now that I think about it, I'm trying to work on my being more present, and I'm not really good at that. I'm working on it, though. I'm trying to be more present and in the moment than being in the future or the past. But yeah, I guess that's kind of where I was today. And I've been going to the gym a lot more. So that was really good for muscle recovery because I've been pretty sore and I'm feeling like really good. I think I'm like hypermobile a little bit, and like things keep popping out a little bit. So I like use the tank to pop them back in, I guess.
Scott,
in a sense.
that is definitely the lightning.
So everything was
friend.
popping, and it felt really good. I finally feel good.
That's good, Megan. And plus, you're going to be taking a vacation, and you need it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm going out to Colorado for about a week. I'm going out to see some family.
So if y'all want to book your flotages, book them now, by the way. As
Absolutely.
a side note, shameless plug. Anyhow, one last thing I want to mention. Really, really random thing, but if I really pay close attention at night when I'm listening to the fan, I kid you not, this is the craziest thing, and I did a lot of research on this. It's a real thing. I thought I was just insane. But I can hear voices. I can hear, like, old-time radio stations. Josh, remember when we were talking about this?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely remember that. Because I get the same...
I remember that conversation.
Does that ever happen to you?
Well, I don't hear voices in the fan, but I hear voices after I've fallen, like, half asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm having hypnogagia.
I hear
so
voices
that's
when
you
I'm,
have an
like,
explanation for
awake.
this. You're like, you are hearing voices because you're half asleep, half awake. It's crazy though, because I was hearing like this old time radio station. Like if anybody who's ever seen man, that band from Man of Constant Sorrow. I am the man of constant sorrow. It's called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Man, I love that movie. It's an epic movie, by the way. You guys should definitely see it. But anyhow, what was I gonna say? Well, whatever I was gonna say, it was important and it has something to do with that movie. Oh, it's because the radio stations and the time, that's the kind of sound I was hearing from that time period. It was like old-time radio cut vinyl type, just crazy. And I felt like it was just weird. It was crazy. And only when the fan was on. Okay, I know it's a random thought, but I just needed to say it. I hope I didn't freak any of y'all out. But I know it's kind of scary. Maybe that's like some ghost stuff. But hey, we talk about a lot of stuff on the Floating Light Live.
Float light guy hears voices. That's all I'm saying.
I can see tabloids like, oh my god.
Okay, that's like a normal occurrence, like in my world. Welcome to my world, John.
Yes, indeed. All right, so let's get on with the show. So Ryan, you're
also,
here.
hang on, Tammy. Are you stating like you'll listen to white noise while you meditate, or like when I float? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I don't think she's suggesting that you listen to white noise. I think she's just putting a word to what we've been talking about.
Well, I know she was referring back to what we were talking about earlier.
We know ghost hunters.
Sweet.
Dude, Tammy, you should hook us up.
Yes.
We'd love to interview the ghost.
Yeah, and they can. Never mind.
The ghost hunters should come float.
Both. Okay, Tammy.
What?
Thank you.
Yeah, don't say anything. We don't have ghosts at Float Light, okay? Seriously, don't say that. All right. So Ryan, you practice the art of flow, but why don't you tell the folks out there, just in case they're not aware, what you do? You know, just tell us your story.
Yeah.
Nonchalant. Just how
So everything I'm going to say for now is just stuff that's kind of the case now. It's not like history stuff. It's just what it is now. And then anything you want to ask about, we can probably kind of go down small little rabbit holes or tangents.
Yeah, and that does happen. But
as
please,
you
if you want to interrupt, just steer it in any direction you want.
But right now, I run an organization, like using the term very loosely, called Spinsconsin. And through that, I host a monthly flow jam. So it's just a community event for people to get together and perform the flow arts and sort of practice with each other, trade skills, skill share is a better word. both teach each other things and just sort of inspire each other things. Not said well. But it's sort of coupled with a Facebook group. So through that Facebook group, there's all sorts of resources so that people can get plugged into their local communities, because I think that's the biggest thing that we sort of lack as a community, especially in the Midwest, is if you get into this thing, it's because you saw it on the internet, or you saw it at a show, or you saw it at a festival, some other state, or some place you were at for one weekend. And so you don't really know when you go home. You can find stuff on YouTube, you can find stuff on Facebook, but people don't talk about, like, well, where do you live, and what events are there in your area, and things like that. And yeah, I'm actually going to respond to Carol quick, because what are flow arts is where I should have started.
That's okay.
It's just not a clear term at the end of the day. I think the best way to think about flow arts is it is an umbrella term for a lot of things, and it's an identity that one person might agree with under that umbrella, but you could be described as a flow artist without actually describing yourself that way. So for example, an aerialist, somebody who's going to do like the aerial silks, or the lyra, which is like a hoop hanging from the ceiling, or even like pole dance.
Those are considered flow arts.
It's they are or they aren't, right? If you're a flow artist and you learn to do those things and you got there through the avenue of flow arts, maybe they are for you, right? But basically, movement arts or object manipulation are a lot of other kind of synonyms that are used. Some of them are more specific within the circus.
But flow arts wouldn't be considered anything where you're using only your physical body. If you have an extension of your physical body, whether that be...
Well, somebody might argue, and not even argue, but there are plenty of people who would have the stance that to dance is a flow art.
And who's to tell them that it's
and
not?
yeah,
So, there you go.
it's like, well, it's hard not. And then also, like, the number of people, one of the great things about flow arts is that people kind of feel like they can't dance, period. They're just like, oh, I could never dance, I can't dance. And so they learn to swing a glow stick on a shoestring.
Sure.
And then they learn a little bit of rhythm with that, and they learn a few more tricks. And then that gives them the confidence of like, oh, I guess I can learn stuff and learn to use my body and learn musicality. So then they learn to dance. And then by the time they learn to dance, it sort of feels like flow arts, because that's how they got there.
Oh, this is so true. So just to kind of give like a real basic perspective, and maybe a lot of folks didn't see the live stream, but what Ryan specifically... well, you know, I guess I can't speak to what Ryan does. I'll let him tell you. But but what I understood of flow arts, at least up until he's now educating us as a community, is that it seemed like it had a lot to do with the choreographed movement of poi type objects or hoops or something that is attached to you. It doesn't have to necessarily involve fire, but it might. And it's moving these objects around in a synchronized way that just look amazing. I mean, that's the best way to put it. In fact, when Ryan was discussing like the notion of the glow sticks, like on shoestrings, there's like a pattern you can follow with your hands to create these intricate designs right in front of you. And that's exactly how I started learning this. And there was no community other than the people that I was also learning this with. And then of course, by just following, you know, my natural instinct to research, I looked online, I found some videos about fire poi, and then I built some, which are totally unsafe, but I did. And I started doing that, and I kind of fell in love with it, but I didn't realize that there was like this whole flow art community, which was an amazing thing. So so when Ryan came here to do his show with his crew, they were doing a performance with, you want to name some of the, because I don't want to butcher like what the arts are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'll answer that and continue like what are flow arts.
Sure.
So I said there are some things that might be flow arts that like that's an identity choice, like pole dance or aerials or gymnastics. And then so now you're starting to talk about things that are more typically flow arts, and that would be like hula hoops, anywhere 1 to 3, or juggling, and poi being to swing like a weight on a tether. That's the most basic description of poi.
Sure.
And so then contact staff would be a stick that you're going to just balance on yourself and manipulate, trying not to grab it, just because it's a little bit more organic that way, a little more challenging and interesting. I don't know. It's just like
It's
the
like
way
a balance.
it's done. I don't know.
Almost. Yeah, I've seen it. It's amazing.
There are all sorts of props, and everything that you do has some way to make it really pretty during the day. Like if it were poi, you could swing a flag. You could swing like having a handle and then just a chain with a flag coming off of it. And so the flag is this big trail like just behind you. Or you do the same thing with like a staff. You could spin sticks, but that have like streamers on them. So that'd be like you can take everything you have during the day, and then at night there would be like LEDs or fire. So LEDs could just be something like these lights here, where they just shift from one color to another, or incredibly high tech LEDs that you can upload images to and have those display on like a string of LED lights.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, of course, fire, which is performed using Kevlar, white gas, or Coleman's, typically a crown around here. Just a wide variety of props and styles can be performed and considered flow arts.
Cool.
One of the things that, again, like flow artists typically identify with, one of the reasons we use that term, which is a largely American term, is this idea of entering the flow state through, skillful movement. But I just think the more I've looked into like what flow arts are, but what flow psychology is, the less that I think that that's kind of genuine. Just because flow psychology is something that you definitely find more so from skydiving and painters who are going to lock themselves in a studio for 2 days and not realize it's been 2 days. Like
Sure.
flow psychology is something a bit more intense than I think most of us
So when
kind
you say
of think.
psychology, and I might be completely ignorant, is that an actual term?
Yes,
It
yeah,
is, okay.
it's I can only pronounce this gentleman's first name. It's Malay. I don't know his last name because it's this long.
Sure. He might be like German or Swedish or something.
Yeah, I want to say he's from the Czech Republic.
Okay, yeah. Well, that would make sense.
And basically, yeah, this idea, he started researching, again, primarily painters who were, it was like they weren't dying, but they didn't realize an entire day had passed. They didn't realize they hadn't gone to the bathroom or that they hadn't gone to eat. They didn't realize how long they hadn't slept for. So
Sure.
So
I can see that's two different things. So for me, just to simplify the flow psychology, that's like being in the zone. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yes.
So in a way that to me is what kind of flow psychology is, just to simplify it for the crew. Actually, it was kind of a good question. Val said crystal orbs. And I just totally think of David Bowie.
Yes, you should.
In the Labyrinth, right?
Yeah.
Would that be a flow art?
So it's called contact juggling. Instead of throwing stuff, you're rolling stuff. It's usually a ball. Fun fact, like somebody that historically we call like the first flow artist, his name is Michael Motion. And in the Labyrinth, he is standing behind David Bowie with his arms under David Bowie's arms.
Really?
Just doing contact juggling.
Wow, because that in that movie is amazing. I always wanted to learn that. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's.
But I would not want to drop a crystal ball.
Well, you can start with an acrylic ball. You can start with a ball that's not,
Hey, Daniel.
super hard and becomes chipped and then looks different. Like, you can start with a ball you just wash. Like
Sure. Right.
Yeah, historically, it's just kind of a fun fact. Michael Motion, an incredible juggler, and like he's somewhere where we get the term object manipulation. Flow arts in America is called flow arts, and it's sort of incredibly broad. And in Europe and Russia and a lot of other places, and in Japan, we more so say object manipulation, the idea of creating art by moving stuff, by manipulating stuff with your hands, with your body at least.
Would it be okay if we give the folks out there just a quick taste?
Yeah, in regards to sharing a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I just think it would give them more of a visual. You want to cut the segment?
Curious here, I still don't know what video you found.
Pretty poppin' YouTube channel, bro. What's up, back friends? So now you get an idea of what flow arts looks like, and we'll let Ryan explain more, of course.
Yeah, it's just long-winded. There's no short answer.
Sure.
It's just unfortunate, like, to kind of steal all the screen time that way. But
Oh no, it's fine. I think that just getting them a general idea, that's why playing the video. So now you get to see, like, firsthand. You guys get to see what it is. And I saw someone say that Dylan Behringer, I think he said, he does the glow sticks. Totally does the glow sticks. I think I've seen Dylan do that before.
Who said that?
I don't know. Might have been your Sandy.
Probably. Scott,
Jordan is watching.
Dylan
Jordan does the spin arts too. Well, I'm sorry. I'm being total.
I gotta chuckle at it. That's
I'm
all.
being.
It's like,
I'm totally offending the.
No, you're not. You're not offended. I find it funny. Like when people say, like, "Are you gonna go twirl poi?" I'm like,
yeah, go twirl. Let's go twirl. No, but yeah, it is an art. Would you call it an art?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course, right, it's artistic in some ways, like, and I make art with it. So like it's not art on its own. It's art if you do it for expression and you build pieces of art and you know, maybe you video edit or you make choreo or I think that when you're just practicing it, it's, you know, it's still an art. You're still making art, but I think that there is something to be said. Like when I'm doing moving meditation, I guess I wouldn't call it art. I'd call it moving meditation. That just happens to be through an artistic medium, but it's really splitting hairs. I would not stress about it. Anyway.
No, cool. No, but we all. I just wanted to ask. That was a question I wanted to ask anyway. Would you call this an art? You know, I think that it's almost like for some people, maybe they'd call it an art. Maybe they'd call it a form of athleticism.
Right. It's just very multifaceted, and there's no easy answer. And to say that it is art is true about 80 to 90% of the time.
Sure.
You know, but I guess I would still call it more stuff.
Sure.
But
so yeah, you perform. Do you perform frequently? It seems like you.
More and more every year. It's kind of the plan, right? Like perform more this year, and then you perform even more next year, and then you're just performing all the time. It's kind of the plan.
Yeah, well, that's a good strategy right there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something you love to do.
So to sort of wrap up, like what are flow arts? In what I was getting at earlier is that in like Europe and the circus scene and the more serious like training and stage acts and making money performing, that is like more under the umbrella of object manipulation. Magician, you know, the crystal ball manipulation or contact juggling. If you've ever seen 8 rings, they're like 2 circles attached and people are like manipulating them. There's a few viral videos of those right now.
Those are crazy.
That's like object manipulation. But where it really turns into flow arts is where, so this is what I was going to say earlier, a lot of people think they're experiencing flow, and I'm not going to tell them they're not, but what I think that we're just sort of lacking words is the problem, and something that's really valuable is this idea of when, hang on, I'm going to read that in a second, I know it says my name.
You know Jordan? Jordan Art?
Is it DJ Rabbit?
Rabbit,
no,
yes.
It is Rabbit?
It's Rabbit.
DJ Rabbit.
Hi.
I didn't know that Jordan had a stage name. Jordan was DJing.
You know who Rabbit is.
Yeah.
I know who Jordan
Yeah.
is. But Dylan and Jordan,
So quick here, sorry. I was going to say that a lot of people kind of feel like what I would call freedom in movement, where they have the muscle memory of a wide variety of things and the muscle memory of transitions between those things, and so they can kind of just autopilot for a little while, and they really feel that when they truly get to let go and sort of have flawless transitions from move to move that are very thoughtless as well as flawless, like and then they kind of like try to figure out, oh, I didn't know that went to that, so they figure it out later, right? And that's where it becomes more moving meditation or whatever. But yeah, anything where you are building a skill, building a repertoire of muscle memory, oftentimes building them into acts or sequences. Anytime you're manipulating an object, even if that object is imaginary, that's often what dance really is like, especially miming and like liquid, right? You're manipulating imaginary objects. So that's where they really get to be like object manipulators without putting stuff in their hands. But yeah, if you want to get into flow arts, like if it doesn't make sense, think about dancing with stuff in your hands, think about juggling, and just look these sorts of things up on YouTube. You know, if you see fire performers, go and see fire performance acts, and jugglers and magicians, and you'll sort of get exposed to it over time. And just wait too, because the popularity of it is increasing all of the time. So.
And you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I don't know that it has a
instruction-
short URL or anything, but
That's okay, but you have instructional videos.
yeah, I do tutorials, and right now I've just been taking tutorials more seriously, so I take longer to put out a huge chunk of them, like kind of over the course of a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and this last one that I did was a series on terminology that sort of applies to all sorts of flow arts. So in the same way you name an animal, right? We say dog, and then there's someone who's like Canis lupus, and like that's related to a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I can do that to a trick that you do. I
Sure.
can tell you that it's something else more technically, and then using that terminology, you can sort of translate from prop to prop and learn more and just focus on your anatomy instead of focusing on what thing you have is and what trick you're doing. Yeah.
No, it's cool. I think Jordan did have a question though. He said, Ryan, are you going to be an instructor at Frostbite?
Okay. Okay. So, flow arts retreats are wildly popular right now. They've been as popular as they are now in the past, but they're really peaking again. So flow arts retreat is going to be it's typically camping, but it could be in a hotel. It could be just a park takeover that happens maybe for 3 days in a row, but you can't stay there overnight. And a whole variety of things. I mean, there's even one on an island in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken, that you're on an island for a week doing just these things.
Wow.
But so you would arrive on like a Thursday and nothing's happening. You just arrive. Friday and Saturday, there's yoga in the morning, workshops all day in a huge variety of things. You might be there are very few of these. There are more of them now, like at a specific retreat. So you go to flow arts retreat and you can get exposed to any of 1,000 different things. I've recently been going to just Poi Retreats. And so I would just be spinning a ball on a rope. That's it. That's what all the workshops are. And anyway, you have workshops throughout the day. And then you would have vendors there selling things and food vendors selling food and etc. Kind of redundant, I suppose. But
maybe like a performance at night.
And then every night, there's a showcase. So it's typically instructors. What's been popular lately is a fire showcase and a non-fire showcase. So having more of like a stage show versus a fire show. Where you would see all of the people who are teaching classes. They're just forerunners of like what you're doing in this art form and like what it looks like when you're incredibly good at it. Sort of showcasing that stuff and inspiring you. And then all night it's typically fire safe. Like there's a fire safety course that you take and you get a wristband or you get like a mark on your hand. And if you took the class, then you can participate in the open fire circle. And that's where you would learn to sort of do this sort of stuff safely.
Man, I guarantee there's a whole bunch of people out there that are like, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it would almost be good for, I mean, anybody can attend.
That's right. Actually, in 2 weeks, in next weekend, or the weekend after next, is Rock and Flow Festival up in the Dells. That's one that I'll be organizing the showcases for. And I'll also be teaching some Poi workshops there. There is a fire circle there. That one is a camping event, but it's cabin camping, so indoors, outdoors, like it's a little bit of both. Really pretty nature trails and everything, and some interesting like wildlife like displays because it's at the Dells. It's like at Upham Family Woods or something like that.
Is there like a ticket link?
You would just look up Rock and Flow on Facebook or on Google, rockandflowfestival.com.
You probably have that on the Spinsconsin page.
It's on the Spinsconsin event calendar.
So everyone knows too, facebook.com/Spinsconsin.
/groups/Spinsconsin.
But I think it's a private group. You also do have a Facebook page for the Spinsconsin, I believe.
Yeah, Spinsconsin Events is a group everybody has access to. The reason the group is closed is because at the end of the day, like there are people who juggle and they don't want their parents or their friends or whatever, not necessarily their parents, but like they are they are precautious about who sees them do the things, whether that be because they don't want to be judged or because they don't want their friends to see them practicing, but they want to share it with other people who are practicing. So Spinsconsin's a closed group, but you can still find it. You can get added to it. You can click on it. You just can't see anything in it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you guys can join the group. Anybody that's interested.
Yeah, /groups/Spinsconsin.
Gotcha. Awesome.
So with all these flow arts retreats that happen, I just got back from 4 of them in a row. I've been traveling for a month. It was really, really exciting. And I organize the showcase at Rock and Flow, which happens in the Dells, and I'm just a director. I'm the assistant manager for Frostbite, which takes place in February. This year it's in next year it's in Green Lake. It's on Valentine's Day weekend, and that one is more of an indoor styled event. There is a fire circle, but you're spinning fire in February in Wisconsin.
Do you have like DJs and stuff that go to these?
Yep. There's always DJs. There's always people with Bluetooth speakers. It's a blast.
It sounds like fun.
And I will be, Rabbit. I will be teaching at Frostbite. Hey, Dylan. Dylan's awesome.
This is like Dylan is awesome.
Do you want to give us the URL for that Facebook group again?
Yeah.
Just because I think I may have lost that in one of our cuts.
That's okay. Facebook.com/groups/Spinsconsin.
And if anyone out there has a phone, you can type that in, link it there.
But yeah, Rabbit, I will be teaching at Frostbite, probably at least one workshop, but I'll also be directing. That's why it's hard to teach workshops and run the event. But I try to teach one at least. Everyone who is teaching, I trust wholeheartedly. So applications for all that just dropped, actually. If you are listening right now and you instruct like Dylan, you should definitely apply to teach some stuff. Yep, I trust you. You're good stuff.
Don't worry about the phone. So sometimes here at Floatlight we do phone that rings. I have turned it off before, but don't worry, we do answer the phone. So if you guys are calling in from the chat, phone lines are ready and waiting.
Oh yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that because everyone's gonna actually call us now and be like, "Hey, we're interrupting the Floating Light Live." No, it's totally cool. I'm gonna make sure I get that link down below.
Here,
so
I can put a link in the. I can type it out quick in the comments.
Cool. So I noticed, and it's totally cool if this wasn't something that you were ready to do, but I did notice you brought your Poi.
Oh geez, it's true. I did.
Way to go, Jordan.
And there are plenty of I think there's enough space here for you to.
I'm gonna opt out. I'm gonna do it. There's enough room for me here to do a couple tricks. But
you think you can do it?
I'll do one magic trick. I'll do a magic trick with Poi.
You can do a magic trick? All right, folks. We're going to get to see this.
Do you have enough
I'm out.
room right out in front of the coach there?
Well, I can actually. I can do it right where I was. I'm pretty confident, unless it's a matter of
okay.
being in frame or not. Like here.
Well, it might actually be best if we use.
John, why don't you just use your
Do
camera
it.
and shoot it down the hallway?
Oh yeah, if you want, we can do that too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
Boom.
this trick is easy. This is just a magic trick. Like I see it, I feel like this is good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm confident in this. Okay. See if I can get on the first try. That's the real question. Nope. No. Don't look. Warmed up. What? Yeah.
He actually got linked in his lab too.
That's good. It's all twisted.
I like it.
That's all you get. It's a very unconventional Poi trick. But
it still,
That's awesome.
It still demonstrates what a flow art.
well, it's one of many, 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 many things that
So it
could
doesn't
be.
necessarily
Right?
have to be. So it doesn't necessarily have to be involving
Fire.
spinning or twirling when it comes to the Poi. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's where it turns more into object manipulation. Right?
Yeah, and I can see that too. It's almost like yo-yoing in a way. Have you ever seen?
Yes, yo-yoing, like more yo. If
So
you
cool.
if you yo-yo good, like or not even
Hey,
good.
homie.
If you yo-yo, you fit
Yeah,
in.
yo-yo.
You are working on a skill with stuff. Like, so this is what we'd call like skill toys. Skill like the butterfly knife, the yo-yo, the Diabolo or the Chinese yo-yo. Belgiri is just a little rope with 2 weights on it. You just sit here and do like fidgety sort of stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets really technical, and people work really hard on it. Gloving, I didn't talk about it, right? But gloving, LED
Yes.
lights in your fingertips. That's a really popular flow art. There are a lot of people who want to argue it's not a flow art or whatever, but it's dope. It's really cool, period. End of story.
I like it. I definitely like it. That's cool. I lost my live. Oh, nope. I'm live. Okay.
Yeah, I even lost it. You're good.
Seriously, Carol, just accept the top fan badge.
Just continue to like our stuff this week, and you'll
Yeah,
be back on
just
next
hit
week.
like on every single post. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, there's a super secret thing that I wanted to tell everyone about, and I keep forgetting. This is going to change everything.
Oh.
If you go to your phone, go to Floatlight's page, click on the community tab, go down and hit invite friends, and then click select all and send. You will change our lives here at Floatlight.
Hey John, how many invites have you gotten to like our page?
I don't know.
Probably
But
like
I know I'm
60
soliciting that out to you guys. To seriously, if you do that for us, we will love you forever, because it helps us get the word out about Floatlight and what we do here and our journey, our mission, and just reaching more people. Because I don't think there's not a lot of people. I just met someone that wondered what this candle store was. What's that candle store? And I'm just like, man, you don't know what Flowlight is? So every single day we're telling folks, we're trying to get them to understand what floating is and the benefits that you can have physically, mentally, spiritually. I think it's probably in a way a similar notion to how Ryan describes the flow arts. You know, there's a practice, a method, procedure, and you're an instructor. You know, I have to say, Ryan, one thing that I really appreciated was your emphasis on safety. You're a true professional, and that, I think, is a testament to anybody out there that's interested in acquiring your crew, you or anyone else, as far as like performing services.
Yeah, I think I've just paid a lot of attention to like veterans in our art form, telling, you know, their horror stories and like being the forerunners on the best practices. Like I pay attention to the work of a woman named it's either Tara or Tara out of New York that like works with the fire department, with the explosives department of the fire department, and makes fire performing in New York at venues and whatnot safe and possible, because otherwise they just wouldn't let you do it. And I know people who work on the NFPA, or National Fire Protection Agency, codes as they relate to fire performers, because a lot of people assume maybe that we need like a pyrotechnics certificate, which is wildly expensive and a lot of education. And most of what we do, actually, everything I have ever done as a fire performer does not require pyrotechnics information. I would love to have it. I intend to get it. It's important to just kind of know that sort of stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that there's like a disconnect. If people don't know, oftentimes, especially in terms of like fire chief or venue operator, they might just be afraid of fire, and that's fair. That's reasonable. So where I was kind of going with that is I really look up to those people that you know, keep safety in mind. And there's this interesting sort of thought that's been swirling around my head, where what's kind of unfortunate in a way is that once you're doing fire safe stuff, once you're doing fire performance, even if you do it unsafely, the odds are that you won't get hurt. You won't get hurt the first time, and nothing's going to go wrong. And if something does go wrong, like you're spinning fire poi and the head burns off and flies somewhere, the odds are you are probably still able to do something about it. But that one time that you aren't able to do something about it, or as you do that and you become more and more confident, and then you're a performer, and then you are kind of doing things with less information than you should responsibly have, just because nothing's gone wrong. That's where I don't want to end up. I don't want to have like more confidence than I should in terms of fire safety. And a lot of people get into fire arts because they're like thrill seekers and whatnot, and I find it way more exciting to minimize risk, to watch everything not go wrong, to feel comfortable that if something did go wrong, I would be ready for it. Like it's almost like a sense of you know, that loosely used flow term that I'm sort of fond of, right?
Sure. Absolutely. Megan, I swear, this is the quietest you've ever been.
It's my
I'm
fault.
listening.
Yeah.
Megan is actually just here to learn today. Megan is in the super zen state, and I think that she's learning a lot.
I'm listening.
I think Megan's going to go to the retreat.
There's this thing that you do when you listen.
I know that.
You should try it.
Ooh, it's active listening. She's
She's-
not even just waiting to respond.
She's a student today.
I just respond in my head. Didn't you know?
Oh, I totally do.
No, I mean,
I did know.
see? Said. No, but I mean, you could think of the same thing as, you know, with massage too. Like, the flow that I have to have for it, the movement that I have to have,
Yeah,
like, the technique that I have to
It
have.
almost, yeah, I think that you could call that a flow art.
You could have
Ryan's
booked
like,
before you came
I need
in,
a
man.
flotage, like now.
Yeah, right.
Dang.
What's up, y'all?
I'm so exhausted. My shoulders.
Dude, I feel you. I totally thought I've been working at the gym pretty hard. I totally thought I pulled something in my shoulder the other day. I was freaked out.
I have a shoulder-specific injury prevention and conditioning video on YouTube.
Cool. Totally will look that up.
Shoulders are my jam. Pretty much any flow art that you do.
Shoulder work is my jam.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at shoulder work. You can ask my Navy buddy. He has like, his arm is like 40% disabled, he said. So he can only put it up to about here. Well, I did.
Yeah. Well, for, you know, like along those lines, I mean, I have a shattered elbow, and it's like totally not straight at all. And they told me I wouldn't be able to like touch my shoulder. Actually, here in Appleton, Hand to Shoulder Center, like, you guys deserve a lot of appreciation. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know I did a lot of work, but basically, I sifted through physical therapists who are willing to beat me up, and if I couldn't get them, I wouldn't go. Like, I would just reschedule, because I was just getting so much more progress out of people who were like willing to be a little more aggressive with my arm. And that's why I'm here, you know? And then what I do is definitely physical therapy for my elbows, and it's made me more, like, when it happened, I sort of, that was really cool, a really cool experience. Was kind of one of those epiphanies, like, when my elbow shattered in a snowboarding accident, and I don't snowboard, by the way. When I shattered my elbow, all I thought about at first was, like, when will I get to spin poi again? Like, and that was a huge perspective thing, man.
Absolutely. That's so true. That's how I feel, like, between the two, between working, you know, not only the flow center, but being like a massage therapist. Like, if I knock on wood, y'all, if I ever break anything, I'm kind of little SOL. Saturday, August 10th, Tammy and Ron will be here. It's Energy Day. I am super stoked. I will be here. Ron and Tammy are amazing. You can, is there a link on our Facebook page for that, John?
Yes.
There's a link on our Facebook page that you guys can look at. You can sign up to get in with Ron and Tammy. Or, you know, just come hang out, meet them. They're really cool people. Energetically, just sitting in a room with them is amazing. I will also be doing flotages. So if you guys are looking to get a massage done or pairing it with a float, y'all are more than welcome to book. And we can help you with that as well if needed. But I am really, really looking forward to having Ron and Tammy back here again for our Energy Day.
And Ryan, What's happening? Where are you going to be next?
Your famous last words. I'm just kidding.
Famous last words.
Yes.
Hey, 1 second.
Any events coming up?
Providing Carol with my injury prevention video because they asked for
Absolutely.
it. Okay. Let's see. So, like I said, Rock and Flow is going to be happening in the Dells in 2 weekends. It's the weekend after next. You could get I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you can get a 1-day pass and just come down to the area in the Dells to Upham Woods and see the place and go home. You don't have to come and stay the weekend. Yeah, so I will be doing that. Down in Chicago, there will be Midwest Flow Fest, and that one is one where you would go to Ping Tom Park in Chicago on a Saturday and a Sunday. You'd go home that night. You just take workshops, and there is a showcase. After Midwest Flow Fest, everything kind of tapers off for a while. As far as performance, definitely following Fox Valley Fire Arts is the best way to keep track of where we'll be. We are locked in for all of the Bazaar After Dark events, and they just told me that they're potentially, this is a secret, don't tell anybody, possibly planning another Bazaar surprise. So just kind of keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. And if you're interested in getting into Flow Arts, the Spinsconsin link that I provided earlier is definitely how you get plugged in here in Wisconsin. And even if you're not in Wisconsin, like, you can reach out to me, and basically I'm trying to help people learn how to find their communities through, like, optimizing their Google searches and Facebook searches and using hashtags and things to find community. Like, it's not about becoming popular, but, like, making your stuff findable so that people can find you when they don't know where to look, right?
Yes.
It's weird, but...
No, it makes complete sense.
So Flow Arts Retreats are weekend stuff. Flow Jams are things that happen maybe weekly or monthly. They're for 1 day. And, yeah, performances are things that I do separately that just are predicated on the same arts. I never even meant to get into performing. I mean, I just, like, practiced so much that people started to come to me saying, like, do you also perform? I guess I do now.
And that's how it all began.
Yeah.
Would you look at that?
Well, anyhow, friends, we are super excited to just live and flow and do all that good stuff that we do. We usually have a fancy exit that we do, but the little camera that flies around at the end of the Floating Night Live is broken. It's
So
going to be
that's
even
it.
more
I heard
broken
about
here
that,
in a
yeah.
moment.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're going to do it anyway.
In case you were wondering, yeah, that's John was desperately trying to get it to work.
That's
so
okay. We are having to postpone the end of the show. Maybe Josh can come up with something interesting to still do it. Why don't you just throw it on Couch Cam? Just throw it on Couch Cam and we'll just be done. And then we can just pretend to do the ending set. Just the Couch Cam, so it's fine. Anyhow, friends, thank you so much again for joining our show.
Y'all.
We'll be back again next week, maybe the week after. I'm not really sure.
The week after, I believe.
Week after, Megan's on vacation.
No, that's 2 weeks.
Megan's on vacation. Are you going to be here for that one?
Yeah, I'll be here the 21st, I believe it is. So, yeah, I'll float the 21st, and then I leave the 22nd. And then there isn't one on the 28th.
Cool.
So,
And be
plan
sure to,
that right.
and
Y'all
everyone
won't
out
miss
there,
me.
be sure to check out Ryan's Spinsconsin, Fox Valley Arts, or Fox Valley Flow Arts on Facebook. Check out Ryan Ducham on Facebook. What was your stage name again? You told me.
My stage name is Ryan Ducham to normal people. To flow artists, it's Dushwam.
Dushwam.
Schwams are like, it's just what you say. It's just
It's a
a
random
replacement and catch-all noun. Just means stuff and things.
Cool.
So the number of people who would say, like, how do you pronounce your last name? You know, you say it like Schwams. Like, Dushwams.
Yeah.
The Dushwams and the don't Schwams.
Well, today we're going to all be Dushwams. And thank you all so much for joining our show. Have a wonderful evening.
John, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it on this scene, and then I'm going to play the music and shut off the mixer. So everyone just say goodbye.
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 Come float sometime.